The budget we submitted to the Board of Commissioners put a high priority on reforming our criminal justice system. We made key structural changes to the way we ensure public safety. We increased the budget of the Chief Judge to promote alternate sentencing and established a framework to lower the jail population and to make our criminal justice system more efficient and to improve the Juvenile Temporary Detention Center. But public safety extends beyond these measures. The State's Attorney's Office and the Office of the Public Defender are critical components of how the county enforces public safety and upholds our protections under law. Throughout the budget process, the reduction of funding for these offices caused contention. All of us, as elected officials, heard from constituents about adequate funding for the State's Attorney's Office and the Office of the Public Defender. We also heard from key voices like Dawn Valenti, whose group, United for a Cause, has been a longtime advocate for important public safety roles, and the many mothers whose children were murdered and know firsthand how critical the services are that the Victim Witness Unit provides. We're here today to announce that we're restoring $4.5 million in funding to the State's Attorney's Office and the Public Defender's Office. This will restore 15 attorneys, 14 members of the staff of the Victim Witness Unit, and 5 investigators and 8 members of the legal support staff in the State's Attorney's Office. In addition, 10 attorneys, 27 investigators, and 1 administrative assistant will be restored to the Office of the Public Defender. This amendment is offset with additional revenue from estates with unknown heirs, which is remitted to the county according to state law. Through conversations with the State's Attorney, the Public Defender's Office, and the Board of Commissioners, it became clear that this funding was essential to the administration of public safety in Cook County. It's because we made tough choices in our budget that we were able to work together to find solutions that maintain fiscal responsibility and strengthen our provision of services. This agreement is a testament to the collaboration that took place throughout the budget process and the commitment that will continue after the vote is taken today.
On behalf of State's Attorney Anita Alvarez, I want to thank President Preckwinkle and the county commissioners that are with us this morning. As the State's Attorney pointed out throughout our negotiations in this entire process, and in her address to the commissioners, the cuts that we're facing in the national budget proposal would have been devastating for the victims of violent crime in Cook County. While we are still concerned about the substantial cuts to our administrative staff levels, this is certainly a better position than we were when we began this process. The State's Attorney is pleased that President Preckwinkle and many of our county commissioners recognized our position and heard our voice and the voice of our victims and moved to restore the important areas of our funding in the interest of public safety. Thank you.
Cook County has led the nation in making certain that our justice system was in fact just for all Cook County residents regardless of their economic status. This budget sends a message, a strong message to the taxpayers of Cook County that the President and the Cook County Commissioners understand the vital role that our office plays in serving the indigent of Cook County. And I also like to thank all the hardworking men and women of the Cook County Public Defender's Office, and to those that we may potentially lose, thank you also. Thank you.
Dawn Valenti is Executive Director of United for a Cause and has brought a number of mothers and family members with her here today. Let me acknowledge Anjanette Albert, mother of Darian Albert, Sarah Rothman, and Nicole Torres, who are part of the Frankie Valencia family. In addition, I would ask to come forward Elizabeth Perez, who is the mother of Joseph Perez.
Hello. I want to say that I'm very happy that funding is back on for the Victim Witness Program, and that we will have advocates that were laid off back, their jobs will be restored. No one really knows about the program unless you go through a tragedy. Unfortunately, my son was murdered, and that's how I found out about the program. I wish I never had to find out about the program, but thank God they are here. They're very vital to families. We really need them. I'm very thankful that their funding is back. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Myrna Roman, mother of Manuel Roman.
My name is Myrna Roman. My son was shot November 1st, 2009. He died December 5th, 2009. He was 23 years old. Without the Victims Assistance Program, I don't know what I would do. I was lost. I've never, ever felt that I would find myself in a position like this, and I believe it's a victims and their families' rights to have this program. Without this, I don't know what we would do, and I so thank you so much, because it really, really means a lot to us when we go to these courtrooms and we have to face the accusers' families. It's such a scary feeling, and you have to have someone from the outside who's an expert at this helping us through this. We can't do it by ourselves. We need someone to lean on, and that's the Victims Assistance Program. And I can't thank you to the commissioners and to you for really listening to us, to realize how important this is. Thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. Yolande Henry. Mother of Nova Henry and Ava S. Henry Curry, is that right?
I am the mother of Nova Henry, and I'm the grandmother of Ava Sophia Henry Curry, who became victims January 24th of 2009 to a domestic violence dispute and a homicide. We still await trial, but while going through trial, we have had a victim witness advocate who has been with us steadfastly, and we appreciate the work that she has done. We appreciate the work that the state's attorney's office will continue to do to help us, and we appreciate you being able to give the budget over and open it so that they can remain to be by our sides throughout all of these horrendous times that we encounter. So thank you very much.
Victor Valencia, who is the brother of Frankie Valencia.
I just want to say thank you for raising the Victim Witness Advocates' budgets. They have meant a great deal to us, both inside and outside the courtroom walls. Never would I have imagined that my family and I would need services like these, but these are services that any family could end up needing, even yours. When my brother was taken from us, both Elizabeth Caratini and Annie Patel, who are amazing women, they were there for us and made sure that they were there for us no matter what. They took the time to learn who Frankie was and to carry a part of him with them always. They could have not made this experience going through 2 trials that were gruesome any easier, and they play vital roles in people's lives. And I'm truly grateful that they will be keeping their jobs and will be able to provide their services to families to come.
Thank you.
I'm honored with my fellow commissioners in offering this amendment. As the President said, public safety is a vast majority of our budget, but to hear at these meetings families who have gone through tragedy, it is a right of theirs to have these individuals representing them in court. And I'm sure this amendment will be an amendment that passes 17-0. And all of you are in my thoughts and prayers.
To the relatives of the victims of crime, thank you for sharing those very heart-wrenching stories. I want to commend them and all the advocates who came forward to help us better understand how we must strike a better balance in terms of justice in Cook County. This amendment, which restores the Victims Assistance Program, is very critical. The work that they do ensures effective prosecution, ensures that there is real justice for victims of crime. On the one hand, in cases where people are reluctant to come forward, they do the work of the Lord in finding witnesses and getting them to show up and ensuring effective prosecution. On the other hand, the restoration of the cuts in the Public Defender's Office will ensure that there will be effective representation, especially for the poor and innocent in Cook County. I commend everyone for this success.
The county gives citizens one of their most precious rights, and that is their day in court, whether it's to prosecute wrongs committed against them or to defend their innocence. This action today reinforces our commitment to a fair and just legal process.
My sympathies are also extended to those that relayed their personal stories. And I'm proud to be part of this amendment to reinstate state's attorneys, public defenders, victim assistance individuals, and so forth. This amendment really reinforces this administration and the board's commitment to making Cook County a safer place. So often we hear of these horrible stories, but we forget that it takes the police, it takes the sheriff, it takes the state's attorneys, it takes the public defenders, and ultimately the court system to ensure that those of us that try to obey the law are not affected by those that try to break it. There are victims every day. There are crimes every day that are being committed, and this amendment, to me, certainly reinforces the commitment to seeing that Cook County remains as safe as places can be and is even safer in the future.
You know, it's a shame that we have to stand here to have to put money back to have people to help to protect these people who have this horrific thing to happen to them. Two of the people that are standing here come from my district. Well, I don't think Annette is here. Annette Holt, Blair Holt's mom, and Yolande, and it's ironic that I happen to know both of them, and their children were taken away from them at a very young age. And the people that stand with them and go to court with them, they're the people that they lean on, and they get the information that they need to make sure that they get where they need to be on time. When they have to face the person who committed this horrific crime upon their families, they need somebody there. I'm a neighbor. I can't go with them, but the people that we pay to do that are there, and they're so passionate about it, and they want to be there. So I'm happy to be a part of this and to say that we're going to support the Public Defender's Office and the victims' advocates that go to court with them. This is the right thing to do. Thank you, Madam President, and all of my fellow colleagues, for all of us pitching in and not doing what we should do, but doing what's right.
I am most grateful that we hold our public hearings prior to the budget adoption every year, because that is the great reminder to us of what our public is going through, what their needs are, and what we must do to help them. As I sat through these meetings and listened to all these stories, and I think we had 100 speakers at the Markham Courthouse for the public hearing, we heard the horrific things that happened to the people in our community. And we knew that we could not allow this to continue, that we had to do things to make sure that we lived in a safer environment, that all of us did. So we have this amendment to restore all of the jobs for the public defender, for the victim witness, victim assistance rather, the state's attorney. We need every single person in our safety, in our public safety to work. And so I said when I got home that night, and it was almost 11:30 or so that we got home, and I looked and I thought, God, there for the grace of God, go I. So I want to thank all of you for being here to hear these stories, and please remember that this is money that is well spent. Thank you.
I just want to thank the commitment of the families that came out here to the hearings. They spent a lot of time waiting to be heard amongst hundreds of speakers. They told their stories, very heartfelt, gut-wrenching stories, and it made it that important to have these services restored, because as difficult it is on the families and the realities of what's actually going on out there are the people who actually receive these pink slips 2 years or twice in 1 year. I mean, that's difficult for these employees, and the commitment of the families to stand with the people that represented them so well, we want to thank. Our hats off to the state's attorneys and for the public defenders and working this difficult budget process through. It's been a long, difficult process, but we are trying to do as best we can to put the most responsible budget forward in restoring the positions that are so desperately needed.
Thank you very much. I want to particularly thank First Assistant State's Attorney Shauna Boliker, Public Defender A.C. Cunningham, all of the mothers and family members who came, and our commissioners for joining us here this morning.